Hi everybody, Mars here, the golf professional at Southwick Park Golf Club. Monday was biblical rain, flooded. This is Wednesday, unbelievably beautiful and quite warm as well. I'm going to probably take this off in a minute. Tomorrow, Thursday, biblical rain again. So I thought I'd come and take a chance to make a video about winter golf and maybe some little things that you may or may not have thought about to make your winter golf slightly better and maybe slightly more enjoyable. I think first off, and I've just done this over the last week. I've gone from my, oh, that's a good old shout for, wasn't it? I've gone from my trolley bag back to my carry bag for the winter. I mean, I just feel for me, it's just a little bit easier to carry the bag. And I think you know, the trolley gets covered in mud and all that sort of stuff, and if you have a little carry bag on some legs, and I think as you know, maybe if that's a bit too much when you're struggling with that, just slim your set out, just take out the odds or the evens in your irons and just put in the woods that you need. I just think carrying your bag in the winter is noticeably easier. So yeah, that's what I would say about that. I think that, you know, if you get a little carry bag with legs, slim your set down, I just think that's a little bit easier, isn't it? Right, let's whack one down the second and we'll have a chat about that. Okay. So here's my next thing for you, potentially. Come off of a forward tee, because you know, if you've played all summer from your medal, the thing about club golf really is, I think it's some people are taking it a little bit too seriously sometimes, because the number one is enjoyment and exercise and companionship, and then probably towards the end is you trying to get better and better at golf, and you know, obviously you'll enjoy it more the better you get. But winter golf, no run, let's not make it too hard. So I've come off of a forward tee. If I go back off that, I'm going to be hitting a really long iron in this wet weather condition, so just come forward a bit and hit an easier shot and hopefully piff one on the green. Got a bit of a cold, don't want to make any excuses. 5 years ago I'd have had to have called it COVID, but I've definitely got a cold. So I reckon the old power's down a bit. That's all right. Yeah, nice. Well, we'll go and get that. That's right hand side of the green, so not too bad. Oh, what a day. Well, that wasn't bad, was it? Get the pitch mark in a minute. One of the benefits of carrying your bag are things like this, like, you know, this is buried off here to protect this bit of ground they're trying to repair. I did just watch one of the seniors take his remote control trolley all around this fringe of the green on 11, so I don't think that's the done thing personally. Anyway, I'll get that pitch mark in a minute. That was a nice little shot. Looks like a tricky putt, but makeable, right on the very, very fringe. That's a tricky when it's nestled into the collar. You sort of catch these half ball really, so give them a bit of top spin. Let me just have a quick peep at this line. Saw an interesting thing that I don't know, I've got not much of a read on this putt, but an interesting putting tip from Jay is interesting. Keep your eyes peeled, winter. That little helicopter would have stopped my ball. I think this has got a double break, but I think it's a bit left then a bit right. Come on, Spider, do your thing. Winter green, eh? Just that. I just did the same on the first. Okay, let's get on. I'm going to tell you some other stuff. Par, steady stuff, eh? Steady stuff. Okay, here's a bit of starting to use your brain a little bit rather than just teeing up and hitting. So from this forward tee on the third, I've got 328. So if I could leave myself a nice yardage into the flag, which is at the back, would be, I'd leave myself 100 yards. So my 7 wood should be the right club down here to leave me 100 yards. So let's do that. The people are just coming off the tee. And the other thing, obviously hitting this a nice little smooth 7 wood, I'm probably going to, you know, I'm going to back myself to hit the fairway with a 7 wood. The driver gets a bit riskier. Nice little smooth one off a low tee. That'll do. We'll take it. little down the right, but she's fine. Okay, I've just got 106, so I've done a good job of that. Here's a must-do winter tip. A wet golf ball and a wet golf club is a recipe for disaster in terms of spin rate and control. So if you can ever get the ball in your hand, no matter what the situation is, clean it. So definitely do that. Should be a good yardage, this. It's in the middle of the green, just right in line with the flag, which is nice. I think this is one of these holes where you can't risk going over the back of the green. And I want it to be aggressive and throw it up in the air, but could have given it a little bit more. All right, let's go and roll that in. That was all right, wasn't it? A little bit nearer than I thought. It's my first makeable putt, really, uphill and a little bit left edge, I think. Left edge. It is left edge if you set it off at the left edge. Still, level par, all good. Make a birdie in a minute with a bit of luck. Okay, so the fourth obviously is a tricky hole. This is one thing that people don't do very often. Where the tee's over on the left, I've pegged up as far right as I can. I'm never going to hit that block, even with the worst swing in the world, and none of you would hit it either. Mentally, it will stop me probably slicing it for me anyway. It helps me concentrate my aim because I want to hit a good. I want to hit not too long a club into the fourth here, so I'm going to try and knock my 5-wood round the corner a little bit and leave myself no more than 150, which is what I'm aiming to do. So it's time to be a little bit braver. I've hit a lot of safe shots so far, but this one needs a little bit more razzle dazzle, I reckon. It doesn't need much draw, but it just needs enough. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Good stuff, eh? Good stuff. I've hit a good shot here, but I've got myself right between clubs. So this is where so I've done what I intended to do, but now I look at it and where the flag is, I'm between an 8 and a 9 iron for me. So I'm going to hit the 9 because it might not get all the way to the flag's right at the very back. I'm going to hammer it. It might not get to the back of the green, but I don't want to be beyond the flag because that's not a place to be. So just give this a lick, and one way I can make it go a bit further is I'll try and draw it a tiny bit. It'll make it go probably 10 yards further. So I think that's the plan. So stand a tiny bit shut. And I'll just strengthen my grip a little bit for these ones. Okay, and let's give this a rip. It's well short, so my sort of fluey type stuff. I'll play the first one, obviously, just for my own. I did a really nice shot there, but it's not far enough. So, out of curiosity, probably won't talk much about that one. It's yeah, it's pin high, just off the green. Yeah, let me put these divots back and we'll sort this first one out. You'll see in a minute why club selection is so important when you hit the ball a bit further, if you know what I mean, or you're quite consistent with your ball flight and distance control. Because that one, the 9-iron, actually much better. I know I'm always going on about my eyesight, but that's why I just have to go on yardage sometimes, because my eyesight is rubbish. That's actually a really nice shot. I thought it was twice that length. Whew. So the other one's just up to the right by those little stakes somewhere. There it is. And here's the next thing you all must do. I'm on everyone's case. Everyone, you must repair them straight away. So I've got a nice little uphill putt there. You tell when you're not 100% well, because I'm really hot. Ooh. Yeah, so the 8-iron that's a bit further is a hell of a shot, really, because it's chipping down sideways across the green, and yeah, I'm going to take it out. Jason Day putting tip. What a day when he was on YouTube. He was saying probably about putts with a bit more break, but let's say this had quite a big break sweeping into the hole. He just tries to picture the last couple of meters as how it would enter the hole, and he seems to think that your brain will work out the rest for you to in order to do that. And it's definitely, I've had a few, if you know what I mean, in terms of they've been right in the right place, whether they've gone in or not. Okay, anyone give me a line? This looks like a pretty straightforward. Right, so in my Jason Day putting tip world, I'm just picturing this coming in here. In this last little section, I'm sure it wants to come in like that. So I'm just picturing this last little bit. Take a bit more time over a putt. I always feel like when I do these videos, just quickly rush up and putt. So yeah, just picturing that last little section and just imagine it falling into the cup. Whether I've read it right or not, we'll see, but she was close. Should have made one of these by now, shouldn't I? Steady stuff though, steady stuff. Let's talk about drivers. I haven't hit a driver yet, so I'll hit one off this tee because, yeah. Oh, what a day to be alive. Okay, so Southwick Park in the summer doesn't need quite so many drivers off the tee. You want a good 200 yards sort of poke down the middle and use a bit of run and make the holes playable that way quite often. But in the winter things change, and this is on the 5th where I could do with whacking a driver down here to leave myself less into the green. We know this is a tricky green with a step in it, so to come in with some sort of controlled shot, a sand iron or a pitching wedge would be a lot better. Here's a couple of things to consider. Most of you probably have a loft adjustable driver. Mine's at 10.5. Let's consider that I could move it up to 11.5. That would potentially give me a bit more carry. Now it wouldn't give me more run, would it? Because it'd be more of sort of a rainbow type flight, or so you can definitely consider lofting your driver up or experimenting with some tee height. See what gives you more carry. Now, I've been playing a bit with Dave in the shop, and he's got his fairway finder, tees the driver down, hits a little cut. That will be brilliant in the summer, but in the winter, you might want a more flighted, higher shot, which I'm sure he'll easily be able to do. But let's whack a drive down here, and just don't need to bend into this. I just want to find the fairway. So let's just see if we can. I like to aim at the left-hand bunker. I feel like there's a bit more room down that side. That, my friends, is a stinker. I played in the simulator yesterday and hit a few tee shots, and I was saying, no, Dave, that's definitely not a big fadey one. That felt good off the face. That was the big fadey one. So that's something I need to address, and I've got a problem. So let's go and sort that out. Oh dear, what a shot. Houston, we have a problem. I've been lucky and unlucky here, really. I mean, I could have been, and my ball's right here, I could have been here, and that's completely dead. I think my best possible outcome from here is if I can get one on the front edge of the green or a chip up the hill will be good. Right, while we're here, I've got a couple of problems. This little bit, if I clatter into this too much, it will take a bit of speed off it. But I can't go with too low a lofted club. I mean, I'd like to hit a little 7-iron there, but I think I'll just drive it into this grass and I won't get it out. So I'm going to take an educated thump. So I'm back footing it a bit. I'm going to pick up quite steeply because I don't want to gather as little as grass as I can. And I've got an area that I can, with a bit of luck, hit, which is front left half of the green, but it is a hit and hope slightly. Oh, that is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. It's unbelievably lucky and unbelievably good. Because honestly, I wasn't, yeah, I would have taken front edge. That shows you, doesn't it? I think sometimes that's, I don't say pure luck because there was an element of skill in that. But how have I got that up on the top tier? On the top tier in good shape. I was just trying to get it on the left. Well, if I could have got it anywhere on the front of the green, I would have been delighted. As Lee Trevino would have said, you've got good hands, boy. Getting a bit slow out here now. I think I've got 1 or 2 holes left in me. It's turned out nice again, hasn't it? Let's park the bus here. I don't even know where that pitched. I was concentrating so much on looking down. This will be the typical birdie, this one, won't it? Putt cover off. This is a really difficult putt, but what a result. Nasty little putt. Jason Day, picture the last minute. Won't talk too loudly. People on the 9th green. Tee rather. Right, let's have one more. The 6 is one of those interesting holes in the summer for me. It's an iron every time. Just hit a 6-iron up between the 2 bunkers and knock it on. But now we can roll the dice a bit. I'm gonna hit the old faithful. She never lets me down until she lets me down. So yeah, just knock it. I'm at the right-hand bunker on the green. That'll be a perfect line. If I'm a little bit out from there, it won't matter too much. Love this club. Why haven't you all got a Senwood yet? This hole always looks so easy. And I always find this this shot into green so difficult to get yardage right and control, but it's just a straightforward shot. So 6, one of those fairways that's going to get wet, stay wet all winter because it's under the cover of the canopy here. Very difficult hole for the greenkeepers to cut and look after. And the dreaded worms. I don't know whether some of you will know this or not, but you could spray for worms and you could spray a chemical that kept them in the ground. They didn't come to the surface. I don't know what. But of course, in our world we live in now, we weren't allowed to do anything to the poor worms. So we have to live with worm cast, which is a real problem at Southwark because obviously it makes, when you mow, then you smear mud. So it's very difficult. So I've got 60. Go with my 55 and just see if I can get this right with feel. This is like, I like to use a little system of clock face type thing and always come through to the same about. So I'm feeling this is a 9 o'clocker with my hands, and I should give myself a chance really. I'll be disappointed if I don't. It's all about the contact off this wet grass. It doesn't skid too much. That's cute. Can't see it, can't see it. Oh no. Can't see my divot. I want to put it back. This is where there's nothing but leaves and divot, so just try and fold it over a little bit. Sorry about that, everyone. Time waits for no man. Yeah, I think this is a much easier hole in the summer and the winter. I just find this hitting this green in the, I don't know why it's so difficult. I know lots of people just probably clatter a driver down and see if they can get as close as they can, but I just feel like you want to come in with a bit of spin, so I end up hitting just sort of, you know, hit an iron. Due one putt. Be nice to finish under par on a video for a change after the week's struggles of the, yeah, a tiny bit short. See, visually, I thought that was right next to pin high. I think the most important thing I'm going to end up doing is some sort of eye exam, I think. Right, come on then, let's roll one in, God's sake. Who wants to see me putt full stop? Another poor read. I think we'll end the video there. Enjoyed it. See you all again next week. Enjoy a bit of winter golf.
So you can see it, you can swing here, in this right here, back swing position.